Bob, and we are back. So, how's everybody doing today? So we got, oops. So we got our nuclear power going, and we got it up and running finally, and we're looking real good power-wise. We're almost topping out the into the gigawatts here, or gigawatts, however you choose to pronounce it. Um, anyway, since we got that going and we got it working, I thought we'd go ahead and maybe set up to improve upon it. We got a couple of things we need to do. One, we need to go find some more iron, and two, we need to start, improving our situation. We've got our basics met at this point, but we are running pretty low on our resource fields at this point. So I was looking around, and we got this real nice 13 million patch for iron here, and then this 1 million patch for iron here. So we're going to probably go up and go after those. We've also got a few patches down here. This one's pretty nice, 8 million. So that's going to give us some more iron. We got 2.4 here. We got 18 million here. So what we may do is we may come up here and grab these two first, because they're going to be the easiest ones to attach to. Here we're going to have to pull out and come around this way to get to it. This one, it's just a straight shot right up here, bada bing, bada boom. We're going to need some copper at some point. Our copper's starting to run a little low. We're down to 1.5 million. And as always, we're going to need uranium. Now we got the 3 million there. We got another 5 million here that we can snatch. So that's what we're gonna start leaning towards, is start expanding out our rail lines just for the resources that we can snatch up. But let's do this first. I wanted to try and I played around with it a little bit here, and I already got a blueprint for it. But I wanted to take the idea that we've got over here with the smelting plant, with setting up beacons and what have you. Now, like I say, see, we're getting to the point where we're really needing to increase our throughput on our raw materials so that we can really kind of bang some more of this out. So, I mean, it's not bad, but it is a little sparse. That's why we need to get more flowing in. But anyway, I wanted to take that same idea, and it occurred to me that rather than having the furnaces there, that I could insert centrifuges there. So that's kind of what I did. Is I went ahead and I took that same idea and I applied it to centrifuges. So as you can see, I've got my centrifuges and I got my feeding, got it feeding in, got it feeding out. And I thought what we would do is if we put it here, and we're going to have to take out this, oh, there's that same spot. We're going to have to get out and deal with that. I know. We just haven't done it yet. This isn't really connecting to anything, is it? So let's get that out of our way. Well, oh, no, it is. It's connecting to that. That's feeding up there. So we're going to want to replace it with something, or move it or something. Let's move it over out of our way a little more. There we go. Now we're still connected. So we're gonna have to break this line here. Hopefully it's not going to kill us too much to do so. That's why we tried to make sure and have alternative routes for our power. Let's go up here and make sure. Yeah, we got power up there. So we should be okay with it. I don't think it's going to kill anything. You know what we can do? We can look at this and see. Yeah, so this is where we broke. We got plenty of alternatives around. It's just a backup line, so we're okay there. So let's grab this blueprint. Where is it? Right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring it down here, and we're going to set it up so that we can tap into this incoming line and feed it on out. Now, I want to give myself a little bit of room to maneuver around, because I've got something else I want to do as well. So let's put her down right there, I think. That ought to work for us. And have our little beasties do their job. And looks like the rest of it is going to be done by in-house bots. That's fine. Alright, so what we're going to do, what my thought process is if we bring our raw ore up into here, this is going to come out as both 238 and 235. And then at that point we can sort it and send it on its way. That's why I wanted to leave a little bit of space here so we can kind of sort the two products out. So let's grab ourselves some belts. We're gonna, excuse me, dang. Let's yeah, that should give us enough room if we put one there and one there, right? And that'll give us our inputs. Right? Alright. So then we want our outputs, and what we'll do is we'll do an underground belt. And we'll come down a little ways and give ourselves some working room. Right there. Alright? Because then we can go either side of this to go where we need to go. As a matter of fact, we can go right like that, and we can go right like that, and then that'll one to each of them, right? Alright, so now what are we going to do with this here? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this down one and over, and this one over. Right, and then, you know what, let's do it a little closer. Let's do it right there. Alright, so that's going to give us one line out, right? Now, here's the thing. We're going to have both types of ore coming off of that one line. So now we got to sort that out. So if we do this, right? And we probably don't need anywhere near that many. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? Let's do 5 of each. And then we'll do a chest here. And the reason I'm doing that is because sometimes you'll get the two pieces that are stuck down here and then it can't pick stuff up. So if we do that and we put just a regular fast inserter here, that'll put any of the remnants in this chest, and then we can sort from there. So we'll sort one side for 238. Yeah, it doesn't really matter, I guess. And then we'll sort one side for 235. Right? And then if we run two belts past these, now we got our 238 and our 235 split out from our major production facility here. Now what are we going to do with that? Well, we can just send it right on over, but then we got all that 235 to deal with, or 238 to deal with. So let's go one step further. Let's do this. This was my next idea. What if we brought it in here? And we'll get that one set up. And this is going to be Covarex processing. Basically the same thing, only we need to split out both of our materials, right? So my thinking was, if we send this up in here instead, right, what we can do, and let's lay this rest of this down first. So we can see what's going on here. I want to be able to kind of show you guys. Is if we come in on both our lines, right? Now, we're going to want to split things out. We're going to want to make sure things go in the right directions. I've got these just as indicators, most of them. All right? But what my thought process was, is if we bring in our raw materials here, right? And we bring in our raw 238 here, right, on these two lines, and we bring our 235 in on these two lines, then we will bring this out up here, and we can set this here. We can monitor this chest, and we can set this here to pull out anything over a set amount. So if we did, say, 500, right, as a round number, once this got to 500, anything over 500 would come out and be sent over for nuclear fuel or for nuclear weapons or whatever the case may be. Now obviously, before we can get this system working, we're going to need our 40 235s to at least get one of these pumping out stuff. But then excuse me, after that it becomes pretty much autonomous. You know, it will spit it out, bring it back into the system. The 235 or the 230, yeah, the 238 will go right back in and feed the other ones and what have you, and cycle on out. And we can have an overflow that comes back out of this and you know, goes on into storage that we can then turn around and tap into and bring back in. So that's kind of the way this is going to work. So we're going to come up here with 238 and up here with 238. They're going to fill these chests to enough to where, you know, we got our input going back in. Anything that we don't use that's excess will come out here. Our 238 will come up here. Did I say 235? But yeah, anyway, we'll come up here, go into our system, be placed on this belt and into our system. Anything that's over a certain amount that we need to feed the system will come back out down this line, and that will get our excess back out. And hopefully, with the amount of processing that we've got going on here, there's not going to be a whole lot of excess to come out to be stored. That's kind of the thought process. You know, and these filter inserters will be set the way they are. These ones were just here to show what's going to go on because I had filter inserters in hand, just for my own visual reference points. So I think this is going to work. I definitely want to try it out, but I don't want to kill this completely. So to start out, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap this with splitters. So since we got this was my first idea, this down here, excuse me, on how to deal with what's coming out of that system. So that was my first idea, and then that kind of built upon itself to be this. So we still need this filter to be able to separate the two out to put them in the right direction. But we're then going to do something with it other than just put it on a belt and put it in storage. However, we need to back this up a little bit so that it fits. So let's go ahead and pull this back, this part of it back out, because I went a little too far with it. So we'll back her up to about there, I guess. Let's see. So, yeah. There, maybe. Yeah, close enough. Alright, so then we want this, and we want this, right? And then rather than going too far with it, we're just going to bring it right to about here. Right, and that will give us our 235 in. Where is our splitter? So we'll go here. Oops, don't stand on the belt. Right? We might need to do this real quick, though. We might need to do this. I think we're going to need to do this. What do we got? Something weird going on there. Wait a minute. We got something in the wrong direction? We got a belt right here in the wrong direction. There we go. Right? That's better. It comes out, goes in, goes up. Right. Okay. Put a belt in the wrong direction. Alright. So that's going to go in that side. Oops. Scheiße. And this is going to be our excess 238 out of the system. Right? Right. And then this and this is going to be our 235 out of the system. There we go. So that's the good stuff out and the bad stuff out right there. And that's our save. All right, there we go. All right. So there's our good out, our bad out. So this is our bad in. So this is filter 238 and shift, and then this filters 235. All right, there we go. So now we need to bring our 235s in. So here and here. So if we put a splitter here and we put an underground here, and an underground here, and another one here, right? So that should give us our 235, goes in here, is separated out, goes up into this chest and up into this chest for the 238, or the 235 rather, and then the 238 gets put in here and goes back in here. That goes back in there. That should give us everything we should need for those. And then we can come out here. Now, one thing that I did find out is you cannot put productivity modules in here because it's only usable intermediate products. So we can't do it for these. But what we can do, and what we are doing, is we can put speed modules in these and speed modules in these. So, you know, we'll just do speed modules. So let's see if that's everything. That should give us that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just run this out a little bit, and I'm going to throw a splitter here, and I'm going to run this out a little bit. Oops. Like that. And I'm just going to throw a chest on it, just in case we do have some overflow. And then we need... do we have any? We do not have any. We need some substations. So let's get ourselves some substations. And while we're waiting on substations, let's go ahead and split this line out. So there's that one. There's that one. Oops. We don't want that there. We want it here. Right? Right there. And then that's going to go up there and up there as soon as we are ready for it. And this may be totally not worth it. I don't know. I thought I'd check it out and see. What we may end up finding is that we can't supply enough ore. But, you know, I think it's a worthwhile try, a worthwhile cause. Right? We can at least say we gave it our best try. And if it works, we have some serious ore production. Now, unfortunately, I did not put these close enough together, my bad, that we can use one shared substation. And I'm not going to pull it back up now that I've already got it going. We will live with it. And the great thing about this thing is it is tileable, which means that we could make this pretty much as long as we wanted, and just go crazy go nuts on our production, which in turn means an absolute ridiculous number of nuclear weapons. As long as we had uranium deposits, we would have nuclear weapons, because this would just keep right on going. We could tile this all the way up to wherever we want it to go. So I'm going to leave these here in case we do decide to add on. But I think we got everything powered up. How's our power look? Yep, I bet this jumps up over. I bet this jumps us over. We will see, won't we? Alright, let's give her a shot here. So there it goes. That's going up in there. That'll process that. There comes our first of our junk out. And our junk's going to go up in there. We didn't set our limits on this, though. That's the one thing we did not do. So we want to... we got our green wires? We don't have green wires with us. So let's grab ourselves some green wires, because we need to set the limits on those chests. Otherwise, it's going to send that stuff down there. Come on. Green wires. Bring me my wires. Oh, and we didn't set this filter. So we need to filter that, right? Where's our green wires? There's our green wires. Okay. So now we want to hook up this to this and we want to tell this, oops, come on, put it down. We want to tell this not to enable until this is greater than, let's say, 500 for now. So now it'll all go into these and go up there. And these, we don't want to, we want to set this to this. And we want to enable this when this is greater than, let's say, 200. Otherwise it'll go up there. Is that the, oops, wrong one. Set it to the wrong one. It's this one that we don't want it to go out. We want to keep it in the system. So it's this one greater than 200. That way it won't kick it out and send it down the line. There we go. Greater than 200. All right, so now in theory, that ought to keep everything in-house until we hit 200 in this chest, which won't happen until these back all the way up. What are you bringing me? Oh. Oh, and this is a, is it bringing stuff from laying around places into there because that's a requester chest? Maybe. Maybe. Let's do this and set that up as a requester chest. That way any that's laying around in any of our containers inadvertently will get put into those. There we go. So now we just wait and see what this does. But it definitely looks like it's processing pretty darn good. Kicking it all back out. Oh. Well, hell, that would help. You know what we didn't hook up? This doesn't belong here. Why didn't you guys tell me that? No wonder we don't have whatchamacallit. That doesn't go there. It goes up here. Guys, you're supposed to tell me these things. Alright, so that's going to go there. I was wondering why we weren't seeing any. How are we gonna... I know how we're gonna do this. There we go. That's better. That's the way it's supposed to be. And then we do the same thing here that we did up there. We're going to set that to that and put a chest here just to make sure that anything that gets down to the bottom gets sorted out. So now, is any of these working? Probably not, because we only have two. But we can go ahead and jump start this whole thing. Let's jump start this sucker. Let's take this and this. Let's jump start this process, shall we? So we're going to go right here. And we're going to go right like this. Now, in theory, that should give us enough to start this first one. There it goes. And when that punches out, it's going to send it right back down here, which is going to send it right back to it. How close are we to being halfway? We don't have any modules in any of this yet, so as it makes modules, the modules go into a provider chest, so the robots will bring them down and put them in the system. So all right, see, there it is. It's kicking it out, putting it back in. Kicking it out, putting it back in. There it goes. That one kicked over. This one didn't get enough to kick over. It went past it, I think. So, yeah, went into this one because it was too slow on picking it up. That's okay, though. There it is. Now, theoretically, once it gets going, these lines will fill up and it'll always have plenty to keep it in business. Now we just gotta up our ore input to where we get a steady flow coming in here. So there it goes again. A couple of them got past, but that's okay. Like I say, it's going to take a few to get it to operate correctly. See, we got some that got all the way up there, what have you. So it's just going to take a little bit for it to get enough to not let it pass is all. But once it's got them going, we'll be in business. There we go. We got another load coming in, and it goes half and half. Because we still want to be able to feed this over here. We still want to be able to feed our fuel lines. Not that we've got any worries about that at this point, really. We got plenty of fuel. But we don't want to have a situation where we run out of fuel again. So we're just going to have to fill this a few times just until it gets enough to where it's running properly. But that's, you know, part of the nature of the beast with Covarex. But once we got it going, it should work beautifully. Now what I could do is I could shut all these ones down until this one gets enough, but why? And once we get modules in these, this will go a lot faster. And I mean, I really don't have to feed these back because eventually this one will kick out the proper ratio and fill those. But I just want to get a kickstart on it to get it going to where it's you know, is feeding what we need it to feed. And we're getting closer to where we don't have to anymore. It's filling it up pretty good here. Eventually those other ones will have enough. Let's see if it's made it all the way down to the end. No, not yet. And again, this system is expandable. I can do the same thing with this one. I can just keep right on adding on. And it'll keep on keeping on. So how are we looking? Yeah, see. And it won't kick this out into storage until such a time as there's, you know, enough in this crate. So this crate will be full. So anyway, we get enough in there to get this started. It'll eventually, like I say, as we get more ore in here, it'll pick up. I suppose if we want it, we could come over here, and don't look like there's much in here. This process here is really slow. This one, on the other hand, we got her going now. I think this is going to work out well once we see it. Once this gets to really going, it'll be crazy, I think. So we got that. Now I want to go ahead and address this piece of spaghetti we got going over here. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to put in a circle right here. May have to maneuver it around a little bit, but it's going to go right in this area right here. And that should give us enough ins and outs to be able to deal with what we need to deal with. We may have to move some stuff around, some roboports and what have you, but you know what? That'll get us going. So what we're going to do is we'll let this sucker go through, and then we're going to rip this son of a bitch out. It's going to stop our production for a little while, I know. But we need to rip that band-aid off, because you see how much stuff goes through here. And you see how we have the potential of another roadblock, which we have had happen a couple of times, and we've had to fix it. So let's rip this puppy up. And get it out of there. And of course, come on. There. Now we can't. Now we know there's not going to be any coming down that way. All right. So let's get this thing knocked out here real quick. I'm going to put a circle in. Well, we still need to take some more track out. Let's take this track right here. We'll back this track up. You know, we're going to take all of that out because that's part of the problem too. There we go. All right. So now, let's line this up as best we can. I know we got that robo port in the way, but that's all right. We'll deal with the robo port in a minute. Right there. Get rid of that robo port. All right, we'll get rid of this robo port for now too. We don't need logistics there. We just need construction bots anyway. How'd you miss the light? I don't know. All right. So now, let's get rid of these curves on the ends. The first thing we need to do is back this up a little further. Right? Right. All right. So now we need to go from here to here, which of course it's not going to line up because why would it? Because we're off by one. All right. And then we need to go from here to here, right? So we're going to have to finagle that one. We may have to stretch it down a little further. And then we're going to have to go from here and here. Right? So yeah, this we're going to have to move around a little bit, but we'll deal with it. We'll move this line up a little further, and we'll stretch this oval, just like we did. And then on this side, we got to go from here to either there or there. So like I say, we're going to move it up. And then this one is going to go here to here. And this one is going to go from here here, and from here to there. Well, that's got to go down though, because it's going to come down by one. Because this won't reach. So because we got to go here for this one, right? Is that what we decided? I think. No, it's either got to go. Now this is what's going to fucker us up, I think. I'm afraid that this is what's going to bugger us up. Let's see. This has to either go here, here, or here. So it's going to have to go here. Not enough track. Well, bring me some more damn track. Bring me some track, damn you. And then that's got to go away. Not the stupid pavement, not the concrete. Fine, you bastard. You know, you can't cook it to help some days. And the curve. I'm on the curve, damn it. Better off doing those by hand, I guess. Alright, so this comes across here and eventually goes right there. Right? So that's the throughway. There. So there's that one. Right? Right. Alright, so there's that. Now this, we may end up having to fudge a bit as well. To get it to work right. We may make this oval a little bit ovaler than what it was. We may be shifting it that way some. As a matter of fact, that's exactly what we're going to end up having to do. So let's do this. Now that we've got the size that it needs to be, we're going to have to move that sucker over. Hate to say it, but that's going to have to come over here. But wait a minute, we just... Oh, because we didn't do the top one yet. Okay. Alright. Well, you know what? We're going to have to pick it back up again, I'm sure, but let's put it down. Because this is going to have to go into it somehow. And there's no way we can get it to curve well enough. Oops. Yeah, so that's going to go there. This one's going to come out as well. We're going to just make this portion of the oval bigger is what we're going to have to do. No big deal. No big deal. Like I said, we knew we were going to shut production down for a little bit to do this. Now you know why I do some of this stuff off camera. I imagine you guys don't want to sit here and watch me struggle. Then again, maybe you do. I mean, maybe you guys are sadistic that way. I don't know. Can we hook this into this? Probably not. Not without doing it that way. And we don't... Maybe if we back this up a little bit. Well, that's going to be funky there, but better funky there than funky up here, I suppose. Only that's going to cause that problems, and we're on the wrong one anyway. Well, I can shorten this side, I suppose. I can shorten that side. Yeah, I can shorten all of these up by one and move them over. We want to be able to come out of here, though, and go this way as well. So that will let us go that way. Well, if we eliminated this, we don't really need this. Because the whole point of this is to be able to go that way. So if that gets us onto that outside loop and takes us that way, we're okay. That takes us that way, we're okay. So then we just need to get on this outside loop here. So maybe we don't have to narrow this down. Maybe we can just go like this. And have that there go up. And then have the other side of it come that way. So that's going to come down from there. That's going to come down from there. Okay. Right? And then that will allow that to go that way. It'll allow that to go that way. It'll allow that to go that way. Here's our next problem. Is going to be hooking that one up. To go there. Let's see. Because we needed to go on to this. Yay. Really should cut the trains off till I'm done this, huh? Figures. That far back, really? Well, yeah, because we reset the timer. Oh well. How are we doing? Bring me my tracks. You know what? Let's back that up far enough that we got it to work with. Bring me all the things. No, not the concrete. Shit. Looked like there was a thing there. Oh well, we'll go ahead and back and screw with this concrete later. I'm not gonna lose sleep over concrete. All right. There's our base circle. Let's try and save ourselves a little bit of consternation down there, shall we? So we said we need to go from here to there. What? Now, that just worked fine right up into there. Now all of a sudden you're not going to work. What the hell? These tracks sometimes can be the most aggravating. I like the trains and I like playing with the trains, but sometimes the tracks can be a real pain in the ass. I know where I want to go with it. It's just getting it to go where I want it to go without a lot of fighting is the problem. There. Right? Right. We can get rid of that. Now, We want this to go somewhere around there. And we want this to go somewhere around there. Which means on this side, we want it to go the same place. Like here, which is where it don't want to go. Mother... Now explain to me why that don't freaking line up. How can that not line up? Seriously? So what? We gotta cut one length off here? You know, some days. I thought this was going to be just an easy fix. Clearly, I was mistaken in my thinking process. Alright. Now that's the lower one, and that's the upper one. So that one, you know what? As stupid as this seems, here's what we're going to do. Miss it by 1 square. What the hell? I just took off a... Now you should go. Alright, so there's the 2 cross ones. Right? Well, one of the 2 cross ones. Bring those straight over. If it ain't one thing, it's another, ain't it? Right? Right. So there's that. Now, let's hook this back up to here. Now we just have to build our circle again, right? Right. Now let's hope that our circle will build. And it probably won't. Because these are probably too fucking close together. Yeah, by one. Son of a biscuit eater. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe it's simply a matter of not thinking in ovals. Right? Yeah, but it's that part there that's going to kill us. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, that ain't gonna do us. Well, sort of though. Because I mean, what is it we're really trying to do here? We are trying to allow this to go up this way, which this isn't being used anymore. We're trying to allow this to go this way, this to go this way, which isn't being used anymore. So this is really not going to be used. It's just kind of going to be there for looks almost. Anyway, it's this outer one that we're worried about. And the outer one we can make work. I am sure of it. Well, not 100% sure of it, but I'm sure enough of it. Yeah, see? It ain't going to be quite an oval. It's going to be more of a rounded off square, but that's alright. I can live with a rounded off square. The same thing here. Alright, so let's see. So that goes that way, that goes that way. Now we just need to go that way from that one. That's got that. Same thing over here. Right, that's got that. Yep. Now we just need to bring these fuckers in. And that goes here. And that goes there. And this gets cut down. This goes here. This goes there. And this so we could actually take this out of this, because it's not used. Well, yeah, it's not really used for anything. Just have the outer circle. Right? Because that's the only thing that needs to do is maybe come this way, but suppose we could make that happen. If we really needed it to. Nope. Wrong one. Needs to go to that one. right? If it needs to. We may have to, well, we may take this spur here out, or this rail here out if we need to take one out. This really should come here as well. But I don't think we can swing that. No, I didn't think so. So it'll just have to go up and around, because I don't think there's any way to catch this. Not realistically. Yeah, see, that would have to go like that to do it. And then this would all have to come out. This wouldn't be here though, because that's going the opposite way it needs to go. It would be that way, or that way. Because it would come up onto there, or it would come up here, or it would come around here and up. I don't know if we saved ourselves a lot of heartburn or not. I think we've just moved it around a little bit. We'll see. We shall see. It's all a matter of getting the proper signals in now, I guess. So we don't want it entering there, or entering there, unless or entering there, right? Right. So then we're going to want one here, 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 right? Why is that ambiguous? I guess because it's the same as that one. Maybe we want one here, and here, and here. stopping that one? Well, that's the same as that one, right? So I need one here, here, and here. All right, guys. Well, look, I'm gonna figure this out, and I'll get back with you. It's already been quite a long video, and I will talk at you later. You guys have a good night. Bye.